So now that you understand that you have this bag of energetic currency, it is important to protect that, right? Because you don't want to get robbed, especially once you figure out how to refill your cup on a regular basis. There are people who are going to be able to sniff that out and try to siphon from it. It's like pickpocketing, but energy. And I'll explain a little bit more if you, and I know that I've said this on previous episodes. If you've ever watched What We Do in the Shadows, then you know of Colin Robinson and Evie, right? Those are energetic vampires. And I mean, there are people and beings in this world, if you want to call them that, that are energetic vampires. And it's people that you get around and you end up talking or hanging out with them, or there's not a mutual energy exchange. And after your interactions with them, you feel really drained and tired. Maybe you have a headache, whatever it may be. And I mean, there's going to be people who are worse than others. But I have definitely seen some people who just have like a black hole or like a void like aura where it's just like they're sucking in all like the energy around them, and that's like a really prominent way of how they will steal your energetic currency. Some people are a little bit more slick about it, and I think that's a little bit different than just like having an unmutual energy exchange, because there's some people that you hang out with and you're just like you feel good after you hang out with them. Maybe you needed to like get some energy from them. um then there are people that you both feel good after you walk away. And then there's some people that you meet that, you know, and this is different. Let me explain. This is different than like your friend who's venting to you. I'm talking about the person that never has anything positive to say. That's who I'm talking about. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. I know that you've come into contact with them. And then there have been some people that I've met that, like, I swear, like, and you don't have to believe me, but I used to work at a cell phone store for a short period of time. And there was a woman who would come in who literally, I swear, would just like drain my energy. And I don't know if you've heard about like the Louisiana vampire, like the New Orleans ones on TikTok. Maybe you should look into that. But I was sitting there and taking care of this woman who, by the way, wasn't even one of our customers. And I didn't realize that until the end. But she came in with an iPhone 1. Okay, we're on 16. She came in with an iPhone 1, which like speaks wonders on how old this woman is. When did I mean, obviously it's not that crazy, but she comes in and she's like, "Oh, the people at Walmart like wouldn't help me, blah 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 blah. They just like wouldn't help me." Yeah, I wonder why. So she comes in, she's like, "I just need to do a couple updates." The first one, 10 minutes, not a big deal. I help her through that. The next one is over an hour. Not that there was really anybody coming to the store, but still, ma'am, you are not an employee. Like, you are not a customer here. You aren't even like through our company. She was like with some random company that I don't even think that I remember the name of. Like, it wasn't Sprint. I think it might have been Cricket. I don't even think it was Cricket. It was like some other weird third party, like cell phone plan. And she just sat there just talking to me, and she was like trying to maintain eye contact with me, and she just like kept talking to the point that I didn't even know what she was talking about anymore. And then I had realized that like 30 minutes had passed. I didn't know what she was talking about. Something about like her going up on a mountain and going rock climbing with her friends, and then they were like picking up crystals, and then she went into something I don't even know. She talked about so many things so quickly that it like almost put me into this hypnotic state. And then she just like kept going and going and going, and by the end of it I was so exhausted and so drained that I was like, oh. And then she left, right, and came back like a few hours later or the next day or something, and she was like, "Oh yeah, can I talk to Ruby, blah blah blah." And we were busy, and my coworkers were like, "Hey, this woman isn't even like a customer here. Like, you really need to just be blunt with her and just be like, you can't come in here unless you're going to buy something." And so I had to do that. I had to go out there and be like, "Ma'am, like," she's like, "Oh yeah, like I think her name was Mary Ann or Mary Sue or something like that." And she was like, "Yeah, like I was like, ma'am, are you going to buy anything? And she kept like trying to do the freaking hypnotic thing where she was like trying to talk about 100 things at once and was like trying to maintain eye contact with me. And I wouldn't make eye contact with her. And I was like, ma'am, you need to like leave. Like, I can't, like, I have like three customers ahead of you. Um, like, you need to go. Like, are you going to buy something? No. Are you a customer with us? No. You need to get out and don't come back unless you're going to buy a freaking plan with us. And then there was another guy who would come in that was so similar to Colin Robinson, I swear to God, from What We Do to the Shadows. And he literally like would come in and not buy anything, and then he would sit there and talk to us about his Xfinity plan and how much he hated Xfinity and how he was going to be changing Wi-Fi and how he was thinking about changing to our Wi-Fi. And then he was talking, then he would like have us show him all of these different like phones and watches and like all these other things, and then he would never buy anything. And I realized, oh my God, like he's siphoning our energy. Like I sat there and I was like, oh my God, like that's what he's doing. And it gave me such like he even looked like Colin Robinson, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, and then I tried to warn my coworker. I was like, hey, I had to deal with that guy last time. He's literally just gonna make you. Sorry if you could. Oh, hello.